Today is the final day before a potential strike that could ground all Air Canada flights.
Yeah, CP24's Courtney Heels is live at Pearson Airport, waiting along with everyone else for the latest developments here in this possible work stoppage. That may not be for another 15 hours or so, Courtney, but in the meantime, there's a lot of agony at Pearson.
Yeah, we're hearing from quite a few passengers who are sharing their frustration or their concern. People who say they arrived at Pearson Airport, their flight's been canceled, or they're crossing their fingers, hoping there won't be an impact. And as you guys say, this is because of the looming strike and lockout. As of midnight, it's possible 10,000 Air Canada flight attendants could walk off the job, or they'll be locked out. So I want to bring in Peter Fitzpatrick, spokesperson for Air Canada. Peter, let's start by talking about the impact here at Pearson Airport. As I say, I'm hearing from people who are feeling caught in the middle of this. What are you seeing in terms of cancellation so far?
Well, there's no doubt people are concerned by the situation, and it's very uncertain. And we understand that, and we regret that they're in this situation, and we're doing our best to resolve it. As far as our operation now, we said we would gradually wind down the airline because we want to have an orderly closure that'll be less disruptive for customers. Plus, it's the only way to do it because we're such a big operation. So what we've been doing has been canceling flights ahead of time, telling customers about this, and then we're giving them their options. And then, that avoids them coming to the airport. It's not good to come to the airport because there's very little we can do. So, you can work online with our online tools and all that. So rolling forward, by the end of the day, there's going to be another 500 cancellations. And, those customers will all be notified and they'll be given their options. So they shouldn't come to the airport. There won't be a need for them to come to the airport. And, this is the way we're going to manage the wind down. Hopefully we can, have a settlement and it won't go to a full strike. But, already, this is a labor disruption and we're being, impacted by it.
On that, I spoke with a union rep earlier. She said they're still at the table. She said she is hopeful you guys can still reach a deal, and she's waiting to see if Air Canada will return to the table. Are you guys willing to do that and still try and work something out? Do you think they can reach a deal?
Well, we're very hopeful of reaching a deal as well. That's our preferred option. We'd like an arrangement that recognizes the the contribution of our flight attendants. They're the best flight attendants in Canada. They're great, and we have put an offer on the table that will recognize that, make them the best paid in Canada. Negotiations are always complex, and we've said we are still engaged, and we're going to work to get a solution, and hopefully sooner than later.
If the flight attendants do not walk off the job after almost around 1 o'clock in the morning, will they be locked out by Air Canada?
Yes, we've issued them a lockout notice, and the reason for that is we need to have an orderly wind down of the company. We have planes all over the world. We fly to 200 countries. We can't just suddenly stop. That would be also very bad for customers. Would leave them stranded all over. So the only way to approach this is to gradually wind it down. As I said, we're already being disrupted by this labor dispute, and I think the evidence that we're managing this well is that the airport, as you can see, is still fairly orderly. The last thing we want is people showing up and seeing their flights are canceled, because that puts them in a bad position. It's better to let them know ahead of time, and then we can give them their options as well.
Peter, thank you so much. We'll be in touch. We know, it's a busy day for you guys. Nick, Jen, we are hearing from both sides. They are hopeful they will be able to reach a deal and hopefully, keep flight attendants working, not see a lockout. But it's hard to say because there are no plans for these two sides to meet. We'll certainly stay in touch with both the union and the carrier. And in the meantime, people here at Pearson Airport are urged to check the status of your flight, check, the boards behind me here, see if your flight is impacted. And if it is, Air Canada says you'll be offered the option of a refund, or you could be rebooked. But keep in mind, this is a really busy time, so it is difficult to get other flights, and we're hearing that from people who say they might be waiting a couple of days before the next option. Over to you.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of options out there, especially at this peak travel season. Courtney Heels live at Pearson this morning.
Yeah.
Court, thanks.